So that's what I mean by leveraging your system.
So the big question is, what are top agents doing to absolutely crush it in real estate? To get the answers, we interview the top real estate agents to learn their secrets to success. If you would like one-on-one access to over 26 of the top agents in the country to help you scale your business, then head over to eliteagentsecrets.com/partner, or you can just click the link in the description below. My name is Andrew Dunn.
And my name is Peter Michael. Welcome to Elite Agent Secrets.
I think this is going to roll us anyway nicely into your third and final, which is, setting strong foundations, for success in real estate. So unpack why that is your third and final secret to success.
A lot of people don't realize real estate's it's a sales role. It's a sales-driven career, right? They get into it thinking, oh, well, Calvin has all this nice stuff and whatever, so I want to do that. Or he gets to make his own schedule. I want to do that. They don't realize that when I just drove 11 hours to Detroit to go pick the boat up, I'm making phone calls the whole time in there. On the way back, I'm making phone calls. I'm negotiating deals. I'm doing all this. They don't realize I'm working every weekend and things like that. They don't realize all the effort and energy that we're putting behind it to make it look as good as possible. So it's developing the foundation of knowing you're in a sales role, knowing this is a contact sport. You've got to talk to as many people as possible, especially right now with this shift, right? I don't think it's a recession, but I think it's a shift. Well, I know it's a shift. So you have to double, triple, quadruple the amount of people you're talking to just to get the same result as you were getting last year and the year before last. It's a contact sport. So managing your schedule, managing who you're contacting on a day-to-day basis, treating it as such that, hey, listen, if you don't treat it like a full-time career, if you don't have any appointments set by noon, go take your lunch, come back in and finish working the rest of your shift like you would if you were working at McDonald's or somewhere like that, an 8-hour shift. Treat it like that. So that's the laying down the foundation of understanding you have to talk to as many people as possible.
I think it's funny you talk about habits and understand this role, because especially I think in even an even more obvious one is obviously through the pandemic, people work from home, right? This for me reminds me a lot of the sales role and real estate agents, where it's you've got to be self-motivated. The reason that people work from home and then productivity has gone down over time. At first it was it's great because you'd get to do all this shit. And then now, obviously, very recently, Elon Musk said, everyone get back to the fucking offices. We got to go to work, right? This wasn't oh, you can come back. It's no, everyone's coming back or you're fired, right? Long story short. And a lot of the people we know, it's exactly the same thing where it's this isn't an option now. I understand certain situations, a bit of this and a bit of that, but it's get back to the office. We got work to do. And it's have that clear, define, this is what is necessary to achieve success. And I think in real estate, something you said is if you aren't hitting this goal, it's you got to stay. And then you can choose to leave. You're paid on commission. Mm-hmm. But you're not going to be fucking successful. You're not. I have something ingrained for me when I lived in New York, and it still never left me. Now, I left there over 5 years ago now. I used to live out there, and it was work finished at 7 p.m. I don't know why, but the whole 9 to 5, it didn't exist there. The job finished at 7. And so now, 5 years later, I don't stop. I definitely don't stop at 7 anyway. But when 5 comes, it's not oh, everyone's getting off. 7 is my, let's say, clock off time. If I want to go and eat or something, 7's oh, you can go and do that. And then I'll come back and I kind of work at a bit of a different pace. But I am every day, no matter what, I'm at my desk until 7 p.m. minimum. It's always later, but bare minimum, that is a non-negotiable. And I think, you said, having strong foundations, with regards, this is what is necessary to be successful. It's you need to implant a certain routine, a certain set of expectations on yourself if you're fucking serious about this.
Absolutely. You have to. And you have to, not just that too, it's not just that foundation, because you have to work smart. I get a lot of people that'll just start making phone calls. I'm well, what's your strategy? What is your goal? Are you trying to set appointments? Are you trying to talk to a number of people? Are you trying to work with more buyers? Are you trying to work with more sellers? You have to have a strategy in place, right? Because if you just get in there and start calling people, well, you're throwing shit at the wall hoping it sticks. It doesn't work like that. So be smart about your prospecting too. Don't just prospect to prospect. Be smart about it. Leverage your systems. We have over 30,000 people in our database, right? So imagine trying to manage that. If you understand, it's kind of like having a souped up Ferrari, but you don't know how to use it, right? If you leverage your CRM in the right way, understand what it can and cannot do for you, then you're a lot more likely to pull out those low-hanging fruit and make deals happen than if you just have something to store them in that you're not leveraging. So
I got a question for you, and you bring up, and I'm assuming you're a Ferrari guy.
Not really.
I feel bad. No, I'm just kidding. But when it comes to leveraging your database, leveraging your CRM, for somebody who doesn't have a CRM or doesn't even know what a CRM stands for, aka customer relationship management, every single agent should have one. You should not be using your phone, right?
Right.
I don't care. Use a Google Sheet if that works for you for the beginning, but there's no way in hell you can manage 30,000 contacts in there. How are you leveraging it more effectively or more efficiently? So for somebody who's just like, I don't even know where to start, at least we can give him something tangible to start.
Every CRM has pros and cons. So again, you have to understand what it can and cannot do for you. We use Chime. I think Follow Up Boss is amazing. I think that's one of the best ones. You've got Sierra Interactive, but it's, we do a lot of retargeting. So lead nurturing is huge right now. And so the way I've got it set up is that when people are on the website, when people are doing certain things, it's bringing it to light. Like, so if someone's saving a property or someone's requesting an evaluation or if someone's looking at something 3 to 5 times, those are indicators that we probably need to reach out to them, right? So that's what I mean by leveraging your system versus, well, I'm just going to go in here and start calling through, group A, right, with no strategy in place. It's when you have that many, now if you don't have that many people, you probably want to just call each person over and over again. But when you have that many people, you want to make sure your time is spent as efficient as possible. And that's how you do that.
There's layers to this cake in there. It's like when you start, call fucking people, get runs on the board, just start. Like the thing is start. And then it's like when you start getting a bit of a pipeline, then it's like, okay, you should maybe have CRMs, have follow-up systems in place that'll make you more efficient on that lead pool that you're slowly growing. Then when you get bigger and bigger, it's like, okay, your systems now need to do a lot of filtering for you. So now you're calling the best people, and then it comes into like growing a team and having assistants and stuff to then help further the filtering, ISAs and all that stuff. But this has been awesome. I want to give you the floor. Whatever you've got going on, obviously buying and selling homes, if you've grown your team, you might have something else going on. How could people reach out and get in touch with you, whether it's phone, email, website, social media? Let the people know where you're at.
Honestly, email is the best one. And my email is calvin@chattanoogapremierhomes.com, but that's the best way just because I get so many calls and social media stuff all the time. But that's typically the best way. Because I'm usually checking emails at night or in the morning or something like that before work.
We've got 3 questions for you straight off the top of your head. All right. Quick fire round. First question, favorite book or person you've learned from recently?
Greg Harrelson.
Second question, what's your real estate goal in the next 12 months?
Ooh, that's a good one. Honestly, I'm trying to develop more leaders and more teams. People, not for me, but help people develop their own teams. I think that's probably my biggest goal.
Third and final, what's the biggest obstacle you think is going to stop you achieving that goal?
Myself. And I say that because I am my own worst enemy. What I realize is that if you want people to respect and respect what you're doing, respect who you are, and respect the business, then you have to lead by example. So I'm in the trenches calling every day with them and stuff like that.
Lead from the front. I absolutely love it. Calvin, thank you for coming on and sharing your secrets to success. Everyone, we hope you've enjoyed listening to this episode, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks for listening to this episode. If you would like one-on-one access to over 26 of the top agents in the country to help you scale your business, then head over to eliteagentsecrets.com/partner, or you can just click the link in the description below.